Testing, testing sound, testing sound. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're going to take a comfortable seat to start our Friday morning community yoga practice. Hopefully you had a chance to say hi before class, and hopefully you'll also stop and say hi after class to the other people on the call. Okay, we're going to just jump right into it today. So taking that comfortable seat, you could be on a chair, you could be on the floor, you could have legs extended, but just find a position that allows you to keep an upright posture. Or roll the shoulders up and away from the ears. And then allow the nose to drop down toward the floor. Eyes can be closed or soft. Connecting with the breath in the body. Allowing the exhale to take away any thoughts in the mind. Starting to sense throughout the body, so noticing how you're doing this morning. And then focusing on the inhale, starting to draw in energies that are balancing to your being. Allowing the inhale to expand to all parts of the lungs, every cell in the body receiving oxygen. And coming to a balance between releasing with the exhale anything that you don't need for your practice, and drawing in with the inhale anything that you do need for your practice. Coming to a place that feels about right in the middle. And from here, reflecting inward about what you'd like to get out of your practice. What would be your intention today? Maybe it's something physical. Maybe it's something more complicated. Not putting a label on this thing, just feeling and sensing. What is it that I'm wanting from my practice? And then allowing that to go, to fade. Coming back to an awareness of the natural breath. On your next inhale, slowly open the eyes and come back into the space. All right, we're going to start with a side bend. Left hand down, right hand up and over. So you could be on a chair here, holding the chair. On the inhale, we'll come up and over to the other side. And inhale, we'll come on back up. Let's take the hands back by the hips. You could be holding the chair here. Draw the shoulders back and down, and we'll lift the chest toward the ceiling. And you could lift straight up, or an option, you could tip the pelvic bone forward, and that'll bring you more into a back bend. And the head is free. You could look behind if it works for the neck, or could just look straight ahead. On an inhale, we'll come on back up to center. Let's interlace the fingers. Press the hands forward and then up and over the head, trying to keep the elbows straight, shoulder blades down the back. And then we'll bring the hands down, change the interlace of the fingers, and then once again, forward and up. And we'll bring the hands down. Let's take a turn to the left. So twist around the spine. You can use your left hand back behind or on the chair to help you with the twist. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale, other side. On an inhale, we'll come back to center. So if you're on the floor, you're going to extend the legs out long. If you're in the chair, you're just going to have your feet underneath of your knees. And then we're going to pick up the right leg. And if you can, you're going to bring the ankle to the thigh. Now, if you're in the chair and this isn't working, you can't quite get the leg all the way up, then just cross at your shins, and that will work as well. But if you can, bring your foot all the way up onto your thigh. We're going to do that, and hopefully it'll just stay. If you have to hold it, then that's fine too. I'm going to try to relax at the hip, let the knee just do what it will. I'm going to bring the hands back by the hips if you don't need them to hold the leg. If you can bring them back here, we will. Keep the length in the spine, and we're going to hinge and come forward. Now, if you're on the floor, keep your toes up on the leg that's extended. So we're leading with the chest, trying to not lead with the chin, keeping your shoulders back. Inhale, we'll come on up, keep the leg where it is. We're going to turn this into a twist. We're going to twist toward the right. You're going to keep your left hand to the outside of the knee. So get some length in the spine and turn. On an inhale, we'll come back to center. I'm going to release that leg now and come to the other side. So again, if you're in the chair, I'm just going to demonstrate that. For those who are in a chair, if you're on the floor, you're going to bring that foot up on the other side. So if you're in a chair here, I'm doing the same thing. If you're able to, pick up that left foot and bring the ankle to the knee. And if you can't quite do that, then you just cross the legs. Here's where we're going. So again, if you're on the floor, that leg is extended. This knee will do what it will. I'm going to take your hands back by the hips and then leaning forward here, leading with the chest. Unless you need to hold your leg. If you need to hold the leg, that's fine too. Inhale, we'll come up. And coming into the twist now, we're turning to the left, right hand to the outside edge of the knee. On an inhale, we'll unwind and release the leg down, or release it, just release leg. We're going to come over to hands and knees position. So if you're in a chair, we'll come out of the chair. And you can pad your knees with a blanket if you have one. If you don't, then you can fold over your mat a couple of times. That's another way of getting some padding. So knees are padded here and they're hip distance apart. Feet are hip distance apart. Hands are shoulder width apart, right under the shoulders, hands and knees. From here, we'll come into cat-cow. So we'll take the tailbone up, chest up, dropping the belly toward the floor. On your exhale, draw the abdominals in and arch the back, coming up toward the ceiling. So the tailbone moves each time, coming up on the inhale, and then pointing back down on the exhales, moving with your breath. And the next time as you come into cat pose with the arched back, that'll be the last one, we'll come back to a neutral spine. From here, I'm going to extend the right leg out. So you could keep your toes on the floor. You're going to press through your heel. If you want a little more, try to keep your hips level, back straight, and lift that leg right in line with your hips and your shoulders. So pressing through your heel if the foot is off the floor. And then if you want even more, take your left hand off the floor and extend the hand out. So you're going to have here, you're challenging your balance, breathing. We're trying to not collapse in the back. And we'll bring the hand down and then the knee down, back to center. We'll try the other side. So again, we're trying to not come into cow pose in the back. We're going to try and keep the abdominals supporting a neutral spine. And then you can extend your left leg out. Again, you could keep the toes down if this is already challenging. If you want more, lift the foot up off the floor. And if you still want more, then the right arm comes up. Breathing here, reaching through your back heel, reaching through the fingertips. And then we'll bring the hand down and the knee down. I'm going to take a little bit of a twist here, so I'm turning just to illustrate. I'm going to take the right hand underneath of the nose. On the inhale, I'm going to take the left hand up toward the ceiling, opening the chest. On an exhale, we'll slide the hand along the floor through to the right. Full exhale. Inhale, we'll open back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, we'll reach through toward the right. Inhale and open. Exhale and reach. And inhale and open. And exhale, reach, hold, and breathe. So you might come down on your shoulder, your head, or both. You could push into your right hand, bending your elbow. Start to draw your right shoulder to stack on top of your left shoulder. So it's like you're looking underneath of the arm and up toward the ceiling. Inhale, I'm going to come on back to center. I'm going to try the other side. So we'll take the left hand under the nose. On your next inhale, right hand up toward the ceiling. Exhale, reach through to the left, full exhale. Inhale and open. Exhale and reach. Inhale and open. Exhale and through. And inhale and open. Exhale, reach, hold, and breathe. So again, you might be down on your shoulder, or your head, or both. You can place the left hand on the floor with the elbow bent and start to draw that left shoulder to stack on top of the right, maybe looking underneath of the arm at the ceiling. On the inhale, we'll come on out of that back to hands and knees. I'm going to take the knees wide and the feet together, knees wide, feet together. I'm going to bring the hips back toward the heels, wide knee prayer pose. And yes, I know your knees are elevated here. And you can start to walk your hands a little more forward, and you might start to drop your chest down toward the floor. Just finding where's your edge today, breathing. On the inhale, I'm going to come on back up. You can bring those knees back to hip distance apart. Now, if you have a couple of blocks, go ahead and grab them. If you don't have blocks, books can be helpful. The sturdier they are, the better. So from here, we're going to try and take your right foot up by your right hand. Now, if you've got to grab the foot and plant it, works for me. I'm going to try and take the foot just a little beyond your knee. So try to get it forward if you can, just a couple of inches. And then from here, we'll come up onto your blocks. You can be at any height. You might be up here. You might be down. Now maybe you're like, this is easy for me. I can just keep my fingers on the floor. If that's the case, just don't be heavy on your hands. So finding where you want to be today. Now try to keep the hips in line and square. So we're going in the sagittal plane here, square toward what's in front of you. And you've got this slight bend, but a mostly straightish knee here. You can walk the toes forward if you need a little more space. We're going to take the hips forward in order to get your knee over your ankle. So I really want there to be an angle on your back leg. So you want the hips forward. We're not going for right on top of the knees. We want the hips forward. But when you do the hips forward like that, we want to make sure that that brings that knee in line over your ankle and not beyond the ankle over your toes. If you're over the toes, you need to walk that foot forward more so that you get the knee right in line with the ankle. Feel the hip flexor on the back leg. And you can adjust your back knee on your blanket as much as you need to be comfortable here. I'm going to try and make sure that the knee is over the ankle. It's not toward the inside or outside. So just right in line. And really connecting the right foot with the floor. So see if you can feel left and right sides, heel toe side, toes working, foot working. Now, if you're wanting a little more here, if you're feeling okay, then you could come on up with one hand, with your hands on your thigh. You could have just one hand on the thigh and the other still on the block. Just try to make sure that you don't move the hips to get there. So again, we're not bringing them back. We're keeping them forward, that knee over the ankle. And if you're okay here and still want more, you could take one arm over your head, maybe even the other arm over your head, coming into full Anjaneyasana. So any version here is totally fine. And if you're like, you know, I can't even get one hand off, I'm keeping the hands on the blocks, that's fine too. And then we'll release the hands back down to your blocks. Now we're going to take the hips back toward the heels, straightening the front knee, and let those toes come up off of the floor. And here, you could come down as low as you want over that right leg. Starting to drop the nose down toward the knee. And you could stay up, whatever works here. Hamstring stretch. And then on an inhale, we're going to release that. So we're going to bring that foot back. So again, you can use your hands to help. Coming back into your hands and knees. And then we're going to try the other side. So you're going to kick your left foot forward. And then just a little beyond your knee so that you have room to bring the hips forward. And you can be at any height on the blocks. Taking your hips straight forward, that'll bring your left knee in line over your ankle. And again, if you need more space, walk the foot forward. Try to keep this swinging from left and right. We're going to try to stay right in center over that ankle. And you should feel a hip flexor stretch here on the right side, front of the hip. And then if you're okay here and you want a little more, you could come up with one or both hands on the thigh. So again, making sure you don't bring the hips back to get there. They're still forward. There's length in the lower back. So try to take your tailbone down toward the floor. And then again, an option, you could take one or both hands over the head, Anjaneyasana. And then from here, we'll bring the hands back down to the blocks. And then we're going to take the hips back to your back foot and lifting the toes of your front foot. And again, you can drop down as low as you want over that leg. Just try to not swing the hips sideways, just try dropping straight down. On the inhale, we'll release, and then any way you can, I'm going to bring that foot back. And then we'll work our way up to standing. Take your time. I'm going to clear your mat. Any blankets or straps or anything that may be around. Coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to feel the feet on the floor. Feet are hip distance apart, outside edges parallel. Connecting the feet with the floor. Toning the muscles of the legs, pulling up into the core. Shoulders back and down. And ears in line with the shoulders. So bring your nose level with the floor and draw the ears back. Keeping all that alignment, we'll take the arms up over the head. Palms together, cross the thumbs, and exhale to the right. Coming down for crescent pose, keep the shoulders in line, reaching into the left foot and extending to the fingers. On inhale, we'll come back to center, change the cross of the thumbs, and exhale other side, crescent pose, rooting into the right foot, and now extending to the hands. On the inhale, we'll come back to center and then release the hands to the lower back. We're coming into a back bend. Tailbone forward, chest lifts, and starting to drop backward. So if it feels okay on the neck, you could look up or even behind you, or you might just continue to look straight ahead. Focusing on the center of the chest, the sternum lifting. And then draw the abdominals in and come on up. We're going to reverse into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Now, if you can't touch the floor, you could use blocks. You could also use the seat of a chair. Or you could even take your hands to your shins. But we're going to engage the leg muscles here. So lift the tailbone up toward the ceiling. So keep the legs strong. And then it's over that strength that you drop the front body down. So making sure that you're balancing your weight between your toes and your heels, right in the center of the feet. And again, legs are working, they're not passive. And we're leading with the chest, not rounding the shoulders. So if you're really low, try to draw your shoulder blades back up towards your hips. And then we'll take a slight bend of the knees, abdominals in, and we'll come on back up to standing. Breathing, breathing, breathing as you come up. We're going to work our way into triangle, Trikonasana. So we're going to take the right foot forward. And if you do have a block, you could put the block to the outside of the foot. You could also use a chair here to the right outside of your right foot. Or you could use nothing, just the floor. Big step back on your left foot. Try to line up the feet, but if that's unstable, take more space between the feet. Left toes in and heel out, inner spiral on that side. Right toes are straight in line with the length of the mat, both legs straight. Make sure the hips are in line. So this is the lateral series. The hips are in line with the feet. Take the arms out. Now on an exhale, we're going to come down into triangle pose. Take your right hand to the seat of the chair, the block, or your shin. Try to stack your left shoulder, one hand directly on top of the other, nice in line. And making sure that that right side body, you're going to try to lengthen there so you're not rounding. Okay, and you could be here. And from here, we're going to bend your right knee. We're going to bend that knee right over your ankle and come up for warrior two. So shoulders are over the hips. Make sure you're not reaching. I'm going to bring those shoulders right in line. Arms out. Now if the arms are just, shoulders are having too much here, take your hands to your hips. This is warrior two. So we're strong in the legs, strong in the feet. Keeping the breath in the body. Turn the right palm up toward the ceiling and reach up. This is a reversed warrior. Left hand could come down the leg. You might even wrap it around your back, and you're free to come back as much as you want. Just make sure your legs stay where they are. Front knee still bent, both legs strong. On an inhale, we'll come back to warrior two. Straighten the front knee, relax the arms. We're gonna come to the other side. So you could step your feet together. You might swap the feet. If you're using your chair, you're gonna swing it around. So left foot, outside edge lines up with the long side of the mat. Big step back on your other foot. I'm gonna come down so I can bring my camera down. There we go. Right toes in, heel out. So both legs straight, arms out, coming down for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Stack the shoulders, and we've got the hips open here. One hip on top of the other, both legs straight. And try to get some extension on the left side body, particularly that left hip to left shoulder connection. Trying to lengthen there. And then we're going to bend that left knee and come up for warrior two. So left knee right over the ankle. And turn the left palm up toward the ceiling for reversed warrior. Right hand either down the leg or around the back. The leg stays strong. Reach and bend as much as you want here. On the inhale, we'll come back to a warrior two. And then release. Release the arms, and straighten legs, step the feet together. We're going to work our way down to the floor. And down. And we're going to sit on a blanket for a little seated forward bending. So you're sitting on the blanket like you're going to fall off. So right at the edge of the blanket. We're going to take the legs wide, wide-legged, seated, forward bend. So again, yeah, so you're right at the edge, you feel the pelvic bone kind of tipping forward a bit. This lengthens the lower back. Makes it a little easier to stay upright. Toes up toward the ceiling, double inner spiral on the legs. Take the hands back by the hips, keep that length in the spine, lead with the chest. Come on forward, wide-legged seated forward bend. If the shoulders can stay back, the hands are free. On an inhale, we'll come on up from there. We're going to turn over your right leg. Try to square the shoulders. So you're twisting around the spine, wrapping the belly around. Keeping the toes up on both feet. We're going to come on forward directly over that right leg. Now, if your elbows can come to the floor, then you can take your nose down to your knee, but otherwise don't round the spine and work on just lengthening. It's almost like you're going to try to get your head to your foot. Can you lengthen the spine and reach the toes with the top of the head? So it's a visualization aspect. Keep your hips down. So if you're really coming up on that left side, try to root it down. On inhale, we'll come on up from there, back to center. And then turning to the other side. So squaring the shoulders over the left leg, toes up. I'm going to hinge at the hips and come forward over that leg. Again, if your elbows are on the floor, you can take your nose towards your knee. Otherwise, we're lengthening, trying to push a button at the top of the head, or maybe reach your foot by getting longer in the spine. On an inhale, we'll come on back to center. And support the knees and draw the feet in for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Soles of the feet together, or the pinky toe side of the feet touching and the feet open, either way. And then the knees will drop down to as low as they want to go. Lengthen the spine and coming forward, leading with the chest, breathing. On an inhale, we'll come on back up. You can support your knees and draw them together. Now I'm going to come off of the blanket. So you're going to hop forward. And you can actually move your blanket aside. Feet about mat width apart. I'm going to bring your hands back behind for support. And then I'm going to drop both knees to the left. So as you do that, you're going to bring your right knee to snuggle in with your left foot, making contact there. And then follow the length of the knees, wrap your right hand all the way around, turning your chest toward the floor. And then you might bend your elbows and start to drop lower. Maybe taking your nose down toward the floor. On an inhale, we're going to work our way out of the twist. Coming back to that starting position, we'll come to the other side. So you're going to drop both knees to the right, snuggling left knee into the foot. Keep going in that direction, wrapping all the way around, turning the chest toward the floor, and maybe dropping the nose down lower. On the inhale, we'll come on back to center. And we'll come down onto your back. So knees bent, feet on the floor. Once you're here, I'm going to take the feet up toward the ceiling. So I'm going to try and get your feet in line with your hips. So I might have to use abdominals here. You might have to hold the legs. And the knees are mostly straight. They may not be completely straight. If this is too strong with both legs, then bring one foot to the floor and just work on one side. And then when it feels right, we'll switch to the other side. So you could do this one at a time. For the feet, the leg that's up toward the ceiling, we're going to rotate the ankles. So maybe you're doing both, maybe you're just doing one. And pause that direction, rotate the other way. Now, if you are only doing one leg, then go ahead and switch. And stop rotating, coming back to neutral ankles. And I'm going to bend both knees. So I'm going to draw the knees in toward the chest. You can wrap your hands around your knees, start to pull them in. From here, you can rock side to side, massaging the lower back. And then coming back to center, we'll release the feet back down to the floor. And then extend the legs long on your mat. So the feet will be about hip distance with the heels, but then soften and allow them to open, come comfortably on the floor. You're going to push in your elbows, draw your shoulder blades together and set them down so you have more flat back in your upper body. And then take your hands, fingertips at the center of your forehead. So just coming together, fingers drawing together right at the center of your forehead. And then push down just a little so you feel a little bit of pressure and a line along the center of your forehead. And then pull the hands apart, drawing your fingers along the forehead and down towards your ears. Soften the eyes. When you reach your ears, you'll bring the hands back to the center of the forehead, fingertips in a line, and do that again. Draw a line, drawing lines with your fingers down the forehead to your ears. Keep the eyes closed or soft. One more time, bringing your fingertips together and then drawing lines down the side of down the forehead, down the side of the face towards your ears. When you reach there, release your hands in any comfortable position. Keep the eyes closed or soft. And connect with the breathing in the body. And coming back to the breath, lengthening the inhale and the exhale. We'll take the right arm up and over your head. Bend both knees. And roll onto the right side. So the head rests on the arm. And then from here, keeping your gaze soft, we'll work your way up to sitting. Bring your hands together at the heart. Just connecting with how is the body and the mind now as compared to beginning the practice. Do you remember that intention in the very beginning of practice? Are we any closer to that goal? Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Do say hi to each other. And I'll see you in class again. Namaste.